This series is about outstanding architecture from around America. From stunning residential to public spaces to commercial. This is an architectural deep dive to uncover the incredible stories behind each design. Welcome to America by Design. Our by design industry experts have selected innovative, inspiring, and award-winning projects.
Architects are amazing creative problem solvers on all levels. Really takes a lot of energy to get from the design phase all the way through execution to building anything in the world, and being able to connect the dots and find answers to problems in unexpected places is really how architects excel.
Let's get started with our first project.
The Electric Park District in Kansas City was once a key neighborhood of the Midwest industrial heartland. Once dominated by industry, it has shifted its focus to revitalization, and there's one particular adaptive reuse project that's really sparking the community's interest. Andy, thank you so much for having me today.
Andres, pleasure to have you.
This building is truly something special. There's clearly a ton of history here.
We are all about history. Our brand, J. Rieger & Co., founded in 1887, died with Prohibition, revived in 2014. When we were looking for our permanent home, this building was perfect for us. All the windows were boarded up, there were no interior walls, there were no working utilities. So the fact that this building was the old historic bottling plant for the largest brewery to the west of the Mississippi, so we got to really look at this historic property as something that we could make our own.
That's incredible. And then as you focus to the future, tell me a bit more about the program you created within this building.
We had to, with this building as a whole, come up with ways to draw the community in. There's a historical exhibit, there's a slide.
Ooh, let me stop you. I'm so sorry. That slide, I'm gonna be going down that.
You're gonna have to. We also have 4 different bar and restaurant spaces, and so that checks every single box for us and allowing people to have a great time in a neighborhood they're not used to.
Andrew, you've created a really great space here, and am I getting a bit of a greenhouse vibe in here?
That's exactly what we were going for. When we worked with Andy, he wanted this space to look and feel like a solarium. And so the way that we accomplished this was bringing in as much natural light as possible. So you see all glass walls on 3 sides. And then we worked with J.E. Dunn Construction Company on this atrium and tried to really bring in a lot of warm and inviting materials, from the natural wood that you see on the ceiling to the greenery that you see throughout and the plants.
And paired with all of the glass and the daylight, you get a great connection to the outdoors.
You do. It's a great indoor-outdoor space. It's almost like a 4 seasons room. And we are in Kansas City, Andres, where it gets really hot and really cold. But on those really nice days, we have a whole wall full of operable windows. And so what that does is it creates a nice flow to the outdoors. You can feel that natural breeze come in. You can hear that activity happening out in Electric Park. You can hear the music.
What a fun space, and it's so great that the community gets to use it.
They do. This is a really family-friendly environment. So kids are welcome, dogs are invited, there's lawn games and live music.
Sounds like a party. I'm also noticing these moments of lush greenery around us.
When we were designing the space, what was really important was trying to bring in as much greenery as possible. From the different size planters throughout to the green wall behind to the sin lawn turf in the middle, the greenery really helped soften the space. Andres, I wish you could have seen this empty lot before. What we were able to reuse though are these brick pavers behind me. So they are over 100 years old, and during construction, we ripped them out, used the best ones, and brought them back into these pathways, which I think helps bring a lot of energy and tie the space together.
This is such a nifty concession stand, and I'm really loving that sign over there.
Well, one of the things with that sign is that's the original font from the historic Electric Park. Was so important to us because we're just right across the railroad tracks from the original 1899 Electric Park site.
You have such great tributes to the past here.
Everything that we do, we are a historic brand and we have a historical building that we did a big renovation in. So we had to make this outdoor space something that tied in, even just the gardens that we are in right now. Electric Park used to be a meticulously cared for garden area. And so for us to be able to do something of the similar note allows people today to socialize and drink alcohol just like people did 125 years ago.
I love these connections from the past to the present, and this concession stand seems quite modern.
Yeah, there's elements all around. For example, the single swing system from Crown Doors, where with the touch of a button, we can open it up like an awning. But also in this bar hut, we actually have a draft cocktail system that comes from inside of our building and it goes throughout the entire building. So when we have 1,000 people on our campus, everyone gets their cocktails within a matter of seconds or just a few minutes. Those are the things that we feel are important nowadays as amenities for the modern consumers.
I'm gonna need to try one of those cocktails.
I am gonna need to see some ID first. As promised.
Oh, you weren't kidding. This is a really good drink. This place is truly something else. It has great architecture, great design, and of course, great drinks.
This was a long, hard process to create the space behind me, but it was totally worth it.
Reviving by Design is something that we feel can help us lift up this entire historic neighborhood of Kansas City.
I'll cheers to that.
Did you show me your ID?
The Electric Park Garden Bar is more than just a place to have a drink. It's an unforgettable experience. The team at Gastringer Walker has blended both history and innovation to create a place that truly lives up to its location's past. While it's no longer an amusement park, it's still a lot of fun.
Kyle Webb is one of the architects on the Western Slope who've been defining the mountain modern aesthetic for over 25 years. With this house, the temptation would have been to make everything about the outside view. But the way that they create so many layers of interior details and artwork and custom installations makes it something that's not just a mountain house with killer views.
Mountain views, world-class ski resorts, nature stretching in all directions. Today, we're in breathtaking Avon, Colorado, to check out a house that takes the idea of living in nature to all new heights. This entrance is a masterpiece.
Well, thank you, Will, and welcome to the Vail Valley, home to some of the greatest ski areas in the world. And as you can see, we're also given amazing sites to design on, such as this, with amazing panoramas and incredible views in every direction.
Yeah, we had a really great client. They brought a great artistic vision, and as part of our discussions with them, we came to a really compact floor plan, but with big impact.
Talk about big impact. Check out this view. It seems like the mountains are in my living room, which I don't hate.
We really tried to design something that was almost like a tree house, where we're cantilevering the living room out into space, so it feels like you're really of the view and of the site. And the inside-outside living is really spectacular when you're entertaining.
As grand as this space is, I know that it's the details that ultimately bring this thing together.
Oh, you have no idea how many details are in this home.
You know, it's one thing to have a really grand vision, but it's a whole other matter to collaborate and bring it to life.
KH Webb and Beck has worked for several years together. We understand the detail and the level of craftsmanship that they would like to get to, from the lighting to the glazing to the TNG ceiling. All of these details that you see throughout, it does require a lot of collaboration with the consultants, the team members involved, and then the people executing in the field. The electrician, for example, White River Electric, he helped bring the concept of this light that projects out of the wall tile to fruition. We've had a wonderful team that executed at a very high level, and we're very proud of this home.
So I understand that Colorado is more than just a location, but in some ways it was the design brief.
That's right. We really pulled inspiration from the outdoors here. The art even is of local animals and local culture. There's cowboys, there's bears.
You know, I like to keep my bears outdoors, but to each their own. I also understand that there's something uniquely Colorado in the bedrooms specifically.
We're way up here at 9,000 feet, so this room has an altitude control technology system which brings the altitude down essentially in this room so you can sleep at a lower elevation, which will allow you to wake up feeling refreshed, and it's super quiet. There's just one hole in the ceiling that provides the oxygen.
Well, that definitely explains why I've been feeling woozy all day long. You know, we've been talking a lot about indoor and outdoor, but when you actually open this space up, this just melts together.
Yeah, as you can see, these 15-foot tall sliders that we got from Allen Bradley Windows and Doors really open up the inside to the outside, really make a magnificent connection between the two spaces.
As big as this space now is, it still feels really intimate. I want to host people here.
Yeah, we had a really great process working on the landscape and design, and we really tried to make each room extend out. So there's an extension to the living room, an extension to the dining room, and then we have some more outdoor living space, a fire pit, an outdoor kitchen, so you can live outside, inside, all year round.
You know, all the materials and everything, it feels just like it's always been there.
Yeah, all these red retaining walls that you see around the house and up the driveway, that's all stone that came out of the ground when we dug the hole to build this home. And then we took those materials and we kind of tied them in with the stonework that we have on the inside from Galleria Stone. It all works seamlessly together.
I love that blend, but that design language carries all the way downstairs as well, right?
The rec room downstairs is another extension of family living spaces. And there's a bar, a wine room, and a beautiful family space, but it all flows outside to a hot tub and another exterior gathering space on the lower level.
I have to ask, I mean, we've been blessed with amazing weather today, but what on earth do you do when it's snowing? Because, you know, Colorado.
Yeah, it's a really good question. In the concrete that we're standing on is snowmelt pipes. The heat pipes melt the snow, so you have inside, outside living all year round. To offset the fossil fuel burning for the snowmelt system, the entire roof is covered with solar panels.
I never cease to be amazed at how many systems work together that you're not even aware of. I just love the space.
Well, thank you. We're very proud of it, and it's one of our favorite homes that we've designed.
There's a profound difference between a house and a home, and what you've created is a home. You can feel it. It's warm, it's inviting. Every single view, you've transformed the setting into a masterpiece of art. I mean, this is an amazing project.
We had an amazing team on this project, and as well as, more importantly, we had two amazing clients who made this an incredible project for all of us.
Yeah, it's been a great experience. Today has been a lot of fun. We've really enjoyed it. It was a dream project.
Here, on the edge of Expedia's Seattle campus, lies a retreat that surprises, the Prow. It's part sculpture, part landscape, part workplace. It's a building that seems to lift and take flight while remaining seamless in the shoreline. James, Peter, can you tell me a little bit about how this project came to be?
This is a unique site in the fact that it wasn't really a site. It was really about this expanse that we're seeing. And this expanse wasn't here. You should be wearing a bathing suit right now because basically this was the water. This was part of the sound. It was really interesting for us to rethink how people engage in a campus like this. And so we really pushed the edge of what we call biophilia, the integration of nature into workplace. And the Prow is the result of that.
And Peter, tell me a little bit about your experience with the project.
We've had the honor of working for Expedia for the last couple decades. And our objective was to pull in all these incredible design partners, including Surface Design and Aiden Darling Design, and try to all make it work within the framework of schedule, budget, and ultimately accomplishing the vision that Expedia had.
From here, it almost appears as if the Prow disappears into the landscape. I assume that was intentional.
Absolutely. The whole notion is that you get a peek of it and you're like, what is that? I want to go there. Like, I want to figure this out.
Joshua, wow. As we get closer to the building, there's this real sense of movement, like it's coming out from the ground.
Yeah, it's a continuation of the landscape and the 1,000-foot long riprap walls. But it's interesting to note that when you observe the building from the campus, it's kind of hidden in plain sight as a landscape sculpture. But from the public side, it becomes this dramatic 150-foot long wing form but more importantly, it's the metaphor of Expedia. It's all about travel, and it's an airplane wing.
There's also a real timelessness about the building with the material choices.
This was very intentional. We wanted to use stone kind of as these 1,000-year-old materials to create the anchor of the building. But on top of that, you have these man-made machined fascias, which are the edge of the roof itself. And on top of that, you have a living roof creating this kind of natural sandwich of nature.
Oh, I love how you've brought the exterior materials to the interior. We've really transitioned to a whole different space here.
The concept was to take these two hefty, timeless anchor walls and lay them up differently. You'll notice that they are smooth as opposed to rough like the exterior. And we complement that with locally sourced Douglas fir planks on the floor and the ceiling to provide an incredible warmth. And in addition, we integrated a fireplace to provide this almost cabin-like feel as a destination for the staff.
And here I'm getting the real juxtaposition of interior to exterior. I imagine that really plays into how people use the space.
Oh, absolutely. The Prow is probably our most popular site for meetings. They find that it's a bit of an escape and a getaway from the more conventional spaces we have inside.
Well, it sounds like you've really met your goal of warmth, but also something that's highly used by the team here at Expedia.
Absolutely. This place is a treasure.
Well, now there's no denying that we're outside. I mean, you can see Mount Rainier from here.
It is a magical place. Right from the very beginning, we wanted to create not just a destination interior, but it was critical that we provided the staff a beautiful exterior space covered, which the cantilevered roof provides. It also provides a beautiful place in the evening to gather around a fire pit and really enjoy the bay in all its glory.
The whole campus feels like a retreat. Can you explain how the landscape architecture played into that?
The big thing was really rethinking the entire site. And that meant, let's connect Seattle with Seattle. So what we looked at doing is reconnected in a more safer way and rebuilding land that wasn't there. We actually captured what was a little bit of living soil and then brought in and inoculated the soil to actually make new soil and plant the plants that are native and indigenous to this place. So that has an impact on both the plant and animal life. Just by these little measures, you can really make a very magical spot for both us and non-humans.
And now that we've seen the project in its entirety, is there any particular moment that you're proud of?
Well, hearing Josh Khanna's rave reviews from the staff and that it's the most sought after and the most treasured space on campus, it's really rewarding.
So would you say that you're proud of the Prow?
I'm very proud of the Prow.
Kendeda Center is one of the finest examples I know of regenerative architecture. It is one project that has net zero, if not negative zero, and it has won multiple awards.
It looks like a building, but it behaves like an ecosystem. At Georgia Tech, one structure is quietly challenging everything we thought we knew about design, performance, and the future of architecture.
The first day we were on site, we came out here and this was a parking lot at the time. The sun's beating down, the asphalt's hot, very uncomfortable. We stepped up on this knoll underneath a tree. It was like, wow, how can we make a building feel like standing under the canopy of an oak tree? This is a building that's trying to act like nature, like a natural organism. So all the energy that it needs is coming from the sun, the water that it needs comes from the sky. So this building is net positive energy, net positive water, just collecting what nature offers us on site.
So scale aside, this really does kind of feel like my grandma's front porch.
Well, it's inspired by your grandmother's front porch, but it certainly is not her front porch. We actually call it the regenerative porch because we are using the space and its design and its materials to generate more power than the building uses and actually collect more water than the building uses as well.
It's funny because you even have the obligatory rocking chairs, which is a great touch. But even here, you still feel this real breeze kind of flowing through here really beautifully.
Yeah, we're really big fans of passive design, which allows us in this case to shade the facade. We want to make sure though that when the sun does hit the facade that it functions really well. And so we want to minimize infiltration. We use Prosecco as a weather barrier to make sure that that happened. And then when we want it open, we have these large doors to really create that connection. And we're trying to connect not just to the site here, but also to the broader campus. In this case, we actually happen to be standing in the middle of a main pedestrian thoroughfare to make sure that the Kendeda Building really is a part of all of Georgia Tech.
To meet the requirements of the Living Building Challenge, we had to reimagine everything. We have foam flush toilets. It uses ounces of water instead of gallons of water to activate foam. So when you do your business in the Kendeda Building, we manage your business here on site where we turn it to compost. But we've been open for 6 years and we have to continue to innovate. We have tested out a reinvented toilet that requires no pipes, no infrastructure, and that's amazing.
One of the things I love most in here is just simply the lighting. It kind of feels like I'm in the canopy of a forest.
I love the fact that you said it feels like a forest canopy because when you walk into the building, you feel the outside inside. We have sight lines into that forest, but then we get the natural light. And about the lighting, it's more than just lighting fixtures. We worked with our supplier, Lighting Associates, to find a manufacturer that complied with the requirements of the Living Building Challenge. Fluxworks made these lights. Not only are they energy efficient, they're also free of toxins that we can't have in the building. During the construction of this building, we diverted more waste from the landfill than we sent to the landfill. Like, take this countertop. This was a tree that fell down on campus and we repurposed it. The stairs that you see behind us, those were made from pine joists that we took out from Georgia Tech Tower, the oldest building on campus.
It's almost like we need to just completely redefine sustainability.
When we were growing up, it was reduce, reuse, recycle. We need to update those 3 R's to regenerative, resilient, and restorative.
As we enter out onto the roof, you really get all of these ideas we've been talking about merged together into one view.
Yeah, we're really excited about the opportunity to have created a roof garden that has blueberries, wildflowers. We have the apiaries with the bees that help pollinate these, but it's also a technical challenge to make sure that the roof is robust, and we work with Sika to make sure that the roof was actually waterproof.
Yeah, so part of the garden experience is our pollinators. And you can see we're in the middle of a city. Not every building is going to be fully regenerative like this one. But if each of them incorporated one regenerative idea, we would change not just the building industry in the Southeast, but the entire world.
And while we might have started with the tree canopy as the inspiration, ultimately this all comes back to the people, the human beings that are inside the building. So we're trying to advance the notion that sustainable buildings, regenerative buildings, it's not a compromise. The building is better than a conventional building. And I think the proof is in there. We're full of students between classes. They're not here because they have to be. They're here because they want to be.
In a world where most buildings take, this one gives back. From inventive materials to bees on a roof, this is what it means to build an ecosystem. The Kendeda Building proves that we can design with nature and help build a more sustainable future for everyone.
Gunnison Library is a place that isn't like your typical library. Instead of a place to go to check out books, it feels more like a lodge where you'd pull up a chair and stay for a while. And the other thing is, it's a very tough climate, so you don't just decide whether to be high performance. You make that choice because you have to.
Nestled high up in the Rocky Mountains at an elevation of nearly 8,000 feet, the town of Gunnison needed a new library connecting the town to a large swath of protected land, easily enjoyed and viewed through this architecture.
There was a visionary rancher who owned many acres just behind this site with a backdrop of the Palisade mountain range. He had this vision that this site was special and unique as it relates to downtown Gunnison, immediately adjacent, highly walkable via an elaborate trail system. We're proximate to schools, and this building really becomes a hub to connect those communities together and enhance its accessibility for this community.
It's a magical place, and it's filled with
a lot of different people. So you can get everything from a cattle rancher to a mountain biker to a student. And so one thing that was really important to us was to have the building capture all of those different voices and have the residents really feel like they can see themselves in it and that they were heard and it's a place for them.
I understand they're also navigating complex climate challenges.
The environmental factors actually drove a lot of the organization of this building. With the amount of snow that Gunnison sees each year, the prevailing winds, extreme temperature differentials, even in the wintertime with negative 15-degree air temperature. But really the design and the vernacular of the building really came from the community and from the stakeholders of the library.
Oh, I love the openness. This is definitely very different from the library I remember as a youth.
You know, that really started with this extraordinary site that we had. We really prioritized biophilic design, or a connection to nature, and we've done that through transparency as well as very strategic natural daylighting.
When I think about being inside a library, I think about the need to be quiet. How do acoustics play a role here?
It's a great question.
Yeah, so the building is actually organized around acoustics. So as you look at how the building is orientated, you have the community room and the children's area, which are a little louder. And then slowly as you move back, you get into the study areas and then the reading room.
And Rachel, I heard you had a chance to test out the acoustics.
During the grand opening, I was walking through with my cousin, who's a professional violinist, and she was in the room clapping, and I was like, what are you doing? And she said she was testing the acoustics, and she was really surprised, because usually community rooms are more orientated to like a presentation. But she said that the acoustics were such that she could play with her quartet, so they've come and had a couple concerts.
And actually complimented the acoustics, which was pretty fun.
I know, that was, yeah, it was a great moment. We really wanted to focus on how the spaces cater to the different sizes and uses, and then have the finishes and furnishings react to that. So like in the kids area, there's a really fun, playful Shaw contract carpet, and then as you move into the space, you've got the fireplace, the mid-century modern feel. It's a little bit more adult. You have a record player and just a place to sit and relax.
It feels intimate for sure, and I love that I can still look outside and feel that connection to nature.
Kevin, that was really one of the major goals of the design, was to blur the lines between inside and outside and allow the occupant to really appreciate and enjoy this nature in a comfortable way. Your first impression of the building, which is really influenced by the Fraser wood beams, which bring a warmth and a natural element to this space, but also how that helps connect to the natural elements of the outside. So it doesn't always take a window.
Can you explain the primary functions that were important to you for this design to work?
It wasn't so much what was important to me, but it was really what was important to the community. Anderson Hollis Architects did a lot of work on the front end of this project, holding lots of public input sessions and lots of different forums. And all of that input through all of those meetings came together in this architectural program. We've had candidate forums here. We've had movie nights and film screenings. We've had author talks. And so consistently, week in and week out, this space has been used for a huge variety of things and really deepen the impact that the public library is able to provide.
So these solar panels are right out up front. Usually I see them hidden or tucked away on a roof. Clearly there's an intention here of why you put them where you put them.
Yeah, so it's really important to the county and the library to showcase the sustainability efforts, not only as an education piece, but also to lead by example.
Our firm generally only does public sector work, and therefore it's part of our ethos to be as responsible as we can with regard to the built environment and how it responds environmentally. And therefore we utilize the Ironmark architectural metal panels to resist the environmental factors that are so strong here.
Well, I bet the recipients of your gas and electric bill are very thankful for the hard work that you put in.
It's performing wonderfully, and we're hearing nothing but great things.
In Gunnison, Colorado, the building must be tough, welcoming, and harmoniously plugged into the natural landscape. This building proves that sustainable architecture can feel exciting, effortless, and serve as a true community hub.
We hope you've enjoyed our look at some of the finest architectural designs from around America. Join us next time for more groundbreaking architecture on America by Design. For more information on any of the projects featured in this series, go to bydesign.global.